Chapter 6. Know Thyself. The ancient Greek adage, know thyself, takes on an even deeper level of meaning in the Islamic tradition, which teaches, he who knows himself knows his Lord. In other words, to go on the journey of self-discovery is, in reality, the journey to God. So who are you? Beyond your own constructed notions of identity, or your physical attributes, such as your gender, your culture, your race or profession, family name, lineage, history. Who are you at the level of your essence? It is impossible to answer this question without first understanding and accepting that you did not create yourself. Indeed, you are a finite, temporal, contingent creature belonging to possible being, utterly reliant on God, the necessary being, for your existence. But you are also a daughter or son of Adam and Eve, the first human beings, the universal parents. Truly, humanity is one big family. According to the Quran, you have the divine breath of God inside you, and the angels bowed down to your father, Adam. Satan, the rebellious liar, is therefore your sworn enemy. It was Satan's deceptions in the Garden of Eden that tricked our parents to eat from the forbidden tree, thereby triggering their banishment down to earth. It is this backstory that provides context for how we got here in the first place, and it also explains why we do not feel at home on earth. Because in truth, we are all exiles, and our true home is paradise, in the presence of the divine, in the proximity of God's essence, and we are here on earth just for a short time to earn our respective places in the afterworld. Either the rewards and delights of the Garden of Paradise, or the horrific torments and punishments in the fires of hell. May God have mercy on us all. To understand who you truly are, you must also understand both the nature of your four enemies as well as the various dimensions of yourself. The four enemies are of two types, inward and outward. The two outward enemies are Satan and the world, or dunya, which encompasses everything that distracts you from God. The two inward enemies are capricious, whimsical, or fleeting desires, and the ego, or nafs. The battle against the nafs is the essence of the spiritual path, and in a sense, it is merely another name for the religion of Islam. As we noted earlier, if Islam itself means submission, then ultimately it is the ego that must submit. It must submit to the will of God by accepting the truth and conforming to the sacred law. To understand oneself requires one to understand that reality is operating on multiple levels. Similarly, each one of us has multiple dimensions, as follows. The ego self, which is the level of animal appetites and lowly desires. It is also the selfish self, and it must be tamed, like a wild animal whose stubborn will must be broken. As the great proof of Islam, Imam al-Ghazali, known to the West as Al-Ghazal, remarked, the nafs is like a dog, a pig, and a monkey. All the dog wants is sex. All the pig wants is food, and all the monkey wants is attention. Today, pornography, fast food, and social media have taken the nafs into hyperdrive. The next dimension is the intellectual self, which is the realm of the discursive mind, or the intellect, which is the seat of reason, thought, logic, and your analytical abilities. The third dimension is the emotional self, which is the realm of the heart, which experiences the core archetypal human emotions of joy, fear, anger, sorrow, and shame. Guilt should not be confused with shame, which is qualitatively different. Guilt is feeling bad because one has done something bad, but shame is feeling bad because one believes oneself to be inherently bad. Guilt is inspired by the angels to encourage us to repent. But shame is nothing more than a whisper of the devil. no person is inherently bad, but rather, only those who choose evil become evil. This is precisely why you must choose wisely. Of course, the highest human emotion is love. In truth, the human heart was created to love, and indeed every human heart loves. The only question is, who or what do you love? If it is anything other than God, then there is still work to be done. You shall not arrive to your destination until your heart is empty of everything except God. For by way of this love of God, you can truly love everyone and everything. Next is the realm of the eternal soul, the psychic self, or ruh, which is the seat of inner ascension, intuition, inspiration, and connectivity with other souls in the spirit world, including those who have passed, the saints, and even the prophets. This is an affair about which we as humans have been given very little knowledge, according to the Quran. And finally, we have the spiritual self, or the sir, the secret, that spark of divinity that is related to the breath of God. It is the secret that is at the heart of every major wisdom tradition, attempting to explain the nature of the relationship between human and God. How are we to understand the mysterious commingling of our own free will with the divine will? In the Islamic tradition, the human being is regarded to be the Khalifatullah, or the representative of God. Other traditions express this notion differently, for example, by saying that man is created in the image of God. The Holy Prophet, God bless him and grant him perfect peace, said that God said, "I am man's secret, and he is mine." This is a matter which cannot really be spoken about, and these words which I have spoken can never do it justice. It is, after all, a secret.